It's time, chat. It's time. The long-awaited. Good morning, gamers. How are we all doing? It's actually, I actually haven't read a single Ishizu card yet. Is that crazy? I don't actually know what they do other than the mill things. Okay, I should probably learn at some point. Nice face, thank you, thank you. I work hard on this face. All right, enough. That's enough of that. Wait, how do I even? Is this one? There it is. Oh, God, normal limb. Ugh. Yeah, I prefer wide loom too. I should probably actually get the tab open for the thing, right? That'd be a good idea. That'd be a great start, wouldn't it? Where the fuck is it? Shouldn't swear on YouTube. Oops. This one, right? I think. Yeah. Wide better, you think? You reckon wide's better? Wide cam. Alright. So my friends are more excited that I don't how do you pronounce? Okay, someone in chat needs to tell me how the hell do you pronounce fucking this thing? What is this archetype? Vernusylph Slife? It's like Slifer? It's like Vernusylph? What is this card name? Is that it? Alright, hang on. Let me get this card name real quick. Hang on, we'll sort this out. Hang on, chat, I got you. This is the official way. Right here.
Vernusylph.
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 Vernusylph. Vernusylph. Vernusylph.
Vernusylph. Alright, that's what we're going with. Google can't be wrong.
Vernusylph.
Vernusylph. Sylph. God, this archetype is dumb. And again, I don't know what this archetype does yet. I haven't read any of them. I know it's got a lot of stuff to go through. Actually, not that many. Got a few cards to go through, and we've got the ones at the top. Are the ones at the top included down here or not? I don't think so, right? They're not. Good, because it means we can go through all these cards, and then we can go through all these cards last, because these are probably the exciting cards that people want to hear about. So we'll start off with the garbage first. I say as the first card's actually kind of bug. It's Vera like aloe vera, is it? We're not talking about the cards that start of the card's name. So the archetype name. Top is confirmed, bottom's expected. Yeah. Alright, not bad, not bad. I'm excited to read these because I literally, like, no joke, I have not read a single tier card before. I just know they mill and they fuse. That's all I know. I have literally zero clue how these cards work. So, I'm excited to read the tier cards. So everyone tells me they're beyond busted. So I need to see this with my own eyes. I need to know. Why are they broken? To be honest, the stuff I'm most excited from here is the Melffy stuff, because I really enjoy Melffy Sprite, so, and this is gonna make Melffy Sprite so goddamn fun. I should probably get into it, like 7 minutes in, I haven't even started yet. Alright, let's actually talk through some of these cards, so I should probably make sure the screen, you guys can read that, right? Yeah, you guys can read that. Alright, so we'll start from bottom, and we'll go all the way to the good cards at the top. So first card from the expected from the pack, Merry Melffys. 1 tuner plus 1 non-tuner monster, a level 4. If this card is special summoned, you can target one face-up monster on the field, return it to hand. If your opponent normal or special summons a monster except during the damage step, or if an opponent's monster targets this card for attack, you return this card to the extra deck, then you can special summon when Melffy exceeds monster from your extra deck. So this card's interesting, because the first effect seems great, but then I've actually zero clue what the point of the second effect is. Like, no clue. I've looked at this card for a while, because of, maybe it's more useful outside, like, Sprite Melffy, but the way you summon this card is with this little dude here, right? And you summon this thing to the field, you remove something, but I don't see the point of swapping this out for one of your Xyz monsters, because your Xyz monsters they need materials to do anything, so you're just summoning out a blank Melffy. Like, all these dudes need materials, otherwise they just don't do anything. It's like, I don't see the point of it, really. Is it just to dodge? Yeah, also, by the way, we're probably not going to use this very much. It'll be run in your deck, but you're probably just going to summon... If we're talking about purely Melffy Sprite, you're going to be summoning this over it, because it's literally the same requirement. You just need level 4, 1 tuner and 1 non-tuner, which will be summoned with this thing, using this thing, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, I don't see the point of the Exceed. The first effect seems pretty good though. It's just summon this card out and you target a monster, return it to hand. Pretty cool. But in general, unfortunately, this card won't see as much play because it's going to be better just to summon out Peril, which is, as you guys probably know, an Omni-Negate, which also has a Floodgate effect that is pretty good against, this thing stops you, where is it? Any monster sent from the hand or main deck to the graveyard is banished instead. Huh. Can anyone think of a particular archetype that likes to send stuff to the graveyard from the main deck? Anyone got any ideas? Any thoughts on that? So yeah, I think this one's probably going to see a little bit more play than this one, unfortunately. The meta might sort of be more fair towards the other card. It seems niche. Oh really? Yeah. You're right. Alright. Let's look at something else. Oh god. Oh, the poor people excited for Amazonas. I feel sorry for you guys. Amazonas Pet Liga King, or Liga King, how do you pronounce it? 1 level 5 or higher Amazonas monster plus 1 Amazonas monster. Monsters your opponent controls cannot attack monsters except this one. You can target 1 Amazonas card you control and 1 warrior Amazonas monster in your graveyard. Destroy that card on the field, and if you do, special summon the other monster from your graveyard. Okay. This card cannot attack the turn you activate this effect. Right. So, this card really, it kind of just... It does nothing. Like, you read those effects, you're like, huh, so when does the effect start? The Amazonas Ultras will haunt you this time? Oh, I know. My pack opening will be full of just absolute Amazonas Ultras. Is one confirmed yet? Oh god, there is one. Oh god. Hopefully it's the only one. Hey, B-dubs. Glad to see you tuning in. The strategy of Amazonas is to put on a board that does nothing and hope it doesn't break it. That's a pretty good strat, honestly. I've won a few games like that before. I've seen it. But yeah, this card actually, it literally does nothing. Like, it summons back Amazonas from graveyard, and it kind of pairs with your Amazonas dude that protects them from destruction, sort of, because it forces you to attack this one, so you can't... I have no upsides to this card. I literally have none. Let's just move on. Alright. I suppose the chat is half blocking this text. That is really annoying. If I zoom in, does it move? No. No. That'd be, like, somewhat useful. Why can't it always go to the left? Whatever, you guys don't have to live with that. I can't be asked. Alright. Tearlaments Crime. When a spell, trap card, or monster trait is activated when you control a Tearlaments monster or Visa Starfrost, negate the activation. If you do, shuffle that card into the deck. Then send 1 monster from your hand to the graveyard. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target 1 of your banished Tearlament monsters, add it to your hand. You only use 1 per turn. Okay, so first question, chat, because I have never played Tier before, or seen what any of the Tier cards do. Is this searchable? Is your turn 1 end board generally going to end on one of these? Just because it's searchable? Or just grabs it back from the graveyard or something? Because if you grab it back from a graveyard or it's searchable, then it's going to be very prominent, I imagine. Oh, it is. Oh, that's nice. Alright, off to a good start then, I see. Already we've got a nice little Omni-Negate coming on. Do we actually run... I doubt it, but do people actually run Visa Starfrost in your Tearlament decks? Or that's some lore thing? I feel like I see that card name everywhere, but it's only ever played in one spot. You don't play it? I wouldn't think so. Yeah. Alright, so obviously a good card, right? We don't need to talk much about this card. It's just an Omni-Negate. Searchable Omni-Negate. If your end board ends on this, it's already really good. But how's the downside, or the downside of this card, sending a monster from hand to the graveyard? I assume your tier cards, they like being sent from hand to grave? Yeah, they do. Oh my god. So this procs all your tier effects. Bruh. It's the worst tier card? That's not a good sign.
Shut up, Mokuba.
Who's ready for ultimate toxicity when Lady gets in the game and can counter this deck even when Bestials come out?
A counter to this deck? I thought the counter to this deck was the ban list. Otherwise there was no counter. That was my understanding. Am I wrong? Thanks the $5, buddy. Appreciate it. I thought the only counter was the ban list. Alright, moving on. Enough of that silliness. Alright. You just probably scroll a bit so you guys can read the card text. Miko main king incoming. Okay, Amazon. Oh, this is the chat's gonna look at this artwork and they're like, oh, Pog. Not realizing it's gonna get giga censored. Yeah, afraid chat. If you looked at this card art and you got excited for a second, I'm afraid it gets giga censored. What's this card's name? Amazonas Hot Spring. Amazonas Hot Spring. I'm actually scared I'm going to look that up and it's going to come up with something I don't want to look up. So I'm going to not type that into Google real quick. I don't want to get banned. Alright, let's actually just read what the card effect does. You guys can look it up yourself, but this gets giga censored. If you have an OCG account. Alright. When this card is activated, you can add one Amazonas monster to your hand or place one Amazonas Pendulum monster in your Pendulum zone from your deck. They're a Pendulum deck now? They're a Pendulum deck. Huh. Okay. When you take battle damage when you control an Amazonas monster card, you gain life points equal to... Oh my god. You only use the effect... Okay, well, it's a search. A very slow search. And it's something to do with pendulums. Right. Damn, I actually didn't think Amazonas could get any less interesting, and then they used the word pendulum, and all of a sudden, like... Despite the card art, instant boner kill, I'm afraid. This card art just won't save it. That is a no from me. There's 2 pens that probably won't be used to pendulum for sure, okay. Why have they got pendulum? Like, whatever, moving on. Let's try to move through this garbage rather quickly, alright? Amazonas Hull. When this card is activated, you can add one Amazonas monster to your hand, or place one Amazonas Pendulum monster in your Pendulum zone, from your graveyard or face up in your deck. Okay. It's the same as the other one. If one spell is summoned to your opponent's field and you control an Amazonas monster, you can target one of those monsters, gain life points. Oh shit. Oh, look out, boys. Don't summon a monster. Quick, he might gain some life points. Oh, don't summon anything. Quick. It's basically Max C. You cannot... just end your turn there. You do not want to summon anything. Not with Amazonas Hull on the field. Gaining life points? Bruh. I don't know. Damn, that is nasty right there. How will you ever recover? It's gonna be OP in Duel Links. Oh, yeah. They gaining life points is insane in Duel Links. Oh, God. The fact these cards are actually too weak for Duel Links is not a good sign for a card, eh? Are these new? But these I mean, I assume they're new. Are these actually new, by the way? Like, released, like, within the last, like, year or so? Because, bro, like, what am I reading? It's like some 2004 support. What am I looking at? They are new? Who designed these? What intern? Fire him immediately. My god. Is this designer's first card or something? I'm so confused. They're so... Bruh. Like, just put this in the... Compare this to the tier elements in this pack. Like, bro, what? What are you doing? But they could have added a bounce effect on this card and Amazonas would still suck. Why is it a life point? Okay, moving on. I can complain about this for God knows how long. Alright. Tearlaments Sulik. Ah, this is the one that people tell me to suck on these nuts, or I see on Twitter. Okay. If you control a Tearlaments monster or Visa Starfrost, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects, then send one monster you control to the graveyard. If this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can add one Tearlaments monster from your deck to your hand. Oh, if it's sent to the graveyard, you can add a tier. Oh, so it's a negate and a search if it's sent to the grave. So you're happy to accidentally mill this card. That's a card. I assume this one you're probably playing more than one of, I imagine. What do you think, chat? Would you prefer to mill this card or put this card on your field? What would you prefer? I think I prefer the mill. 3 of it could be. It's literally a search if it's sent to the graveyard, which sounds crazy. Like only run 2? Both? Yeah, just have both, Smile. It's continuous? Is the other one continuous as well? No, it's not. A continuous? Prefer to milk as main deck monster semi-true. Does your Tearlaments end board normally end on... I guess the fusions are all Tearlament, right? No, mate, yeah, never mind. Alright, well, this card seems great. I'm not sure how many we're going to run. 3 seems good, 2 seems good, and 1 seems good if you just want to search for negate as well. So we've got a nice little counter trap negate. We've got a second negate that's also a search when it's sent to graveyard. So far the only tier cards we've read are Giga stacked. I wonder if there's actually a single tier card in here that we will actually think doesn't seem good. Is there a single tier card in this pack that is not going to see play? That's the real question. How good is it? How good can this art type possibly be? Because both these cards seem crazy already, and we're just in the trap cards. No, there is one. Oh, there is one. Oh, I'm excited to find that one. Don't worry. We'll find it. All right. Oh god, it's the art type I can't pronounce. You know, let's make this easier on ourselves. This one you, by the way. God damn it. What we'll do is we'll keep the Google Translate tab open, and whenever the word comes up, I'll just ask Google to pronounce it. Alright.
Vernusylph.
And the Flower Buds. Target face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Earth monsters you control with different names that were special summoned from the graveyard. Return Earth monster you control to the hand equal to the number of targets, and if you returned at least 1 to hand, return the targeted card to the hand. Why is it? This card's so overloaded in how it's worded. You can activate 1
Vernusylph.
per turn. Okay. Now, special summon specifically from the graveyard? This card seems pretty bad. It's used only on graveyard stuff. Like, who's only summoning from graveyard? Oh no, it's only, oh, I read that completely wrong. I messed that up. It's talking about its own summon from graveyard. I thought it was your opponent's summon from graveyard. Okay. Alright, sure. Alright. Emancipated adult chain tutorial like this art type? So is
Vernusylph.
an art type's gonna be paired with stuff rather than played by itself? See, a lot of people bring up Emancipator and stuff. Yes. So can it be played pure, or is it just utter garbage pure, so you have to play it with other things? Oh, so it's actually just a garbage pure. I see. Alright. So you get a trap card that bounces some stuff. I mean, not bad, I guess. Seems kind of a waste to play something like this in Adamantipator, though. It kind of already ends on like a really stacked end board. Do you really need like a bounce trap on a board that's already like crazy? But I guess it might be Madolche or something. Seems like a way to do a whole lot for Adamantipator. And again, we haven't gone through the rest of the cards yet. Maybe it's some sort of crazy one-card combo thing that searches this as part of its crazy combo or something. Currently tier 1 in OCG as Earth Pile. Oh. See, that's why I'm just talking out my ass. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Makes it play better through interaction? Better going second. Alright, let's move on to the next one. We have
Vernusylph.
Vernusylph and Changing Season. Target 1
Vernusylph.
monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand or special summon it. During your opponent's turn, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard. If you have no cards in your hand, you can banish the card from your graveyard, special summon as many
Vernusylph.
monsters as possible, different names from your graveyard, but return them to the hand during your end phase. You can use each effect of... I'm gonna squeal. Alright, enough of that. Alright. As many as possible. Do your Vernusylph, whatever monsters, when they come back from grave, do anything? Because I assume this trap card might be crazy if it summons back like 4 monsters and they all have tons of interaction or something. Or are we just summoning back 4 monsters that just sit there and look pretty? It's like Revolt. I mean, Revolt summons something afterwards, right? Or do you summon something that's going to do a fusion after it? They can summon back any Earth monster. But on like an Adamantipator end board, you wouldn't even have slots for summoning back much with this trap. I guess in the other art types might be alright. I think the boss needs 4 or 5 Earths on field to activate its effect. You know, I can't really imagine you have a whole lot of board space for the trap card like this, and most of the Earth decks are sort of brought up. It's like useful if your board gets wiped a little bit, I guess. Let's go on, let's see if there's been TCG toppings. It's probably, apparently it's giga insane in OCG right now, but let's have a look at TCG stuff. Is it just my last copy and paste? It is. Any tournament toppings? Anywhere? There have been, okay. Notoria and Madolche by the looks of things. Do they play this trap card? By the looks of things, no. It's kind of what I thought, though. Yeah, your end board's like... I don't see why you'd want to play something that summons like a bunch to the field when you don't really end on fields and then have like 1 monster. Because all these decks end on a bunch of shit, right? So I don't see why you'd play the trap card. Hey, where's even the... Is there even any in here? Oh, there is, right here. Like, that's a tiny ass package. It's like... Oh, okay. The trap cards are not seeing play at all. We don't have the Notoria support yet. So it's looking like a Madolche deck. Is Madolche cheap in Master Duel? Who's played Madolche? Is this stuff cheap? How expensive are the Madolche cards? How much of a bank are we gonna have to go into to try and build this deck? The traps aren't that great. This one seems alright, but this one's like... Probably wouldn't be too bad. It's like it's just like discount revolt, but it's revolt without the summon the big link 4 at the end of it. So Madolche's expensive. Oh, I can look it up myself. Let's have a look. Any Madolche gamers? Madolche. Madolche. Alright, how many ultra rares we talking? Okay, no main deck. There's only the generics I'm seeing. So, the ultra rare... Oh, it's the Xyz monsters and the... Okay. Oh, no, just the Xyz monsters. That's not too bad. Oh, wait, there's another Xyz monster. So, all 3 of the Xyz monsters are ultra rare. Huh. Well, the deck was looking cheap until I read the Xyz monsters. But still, it's not too bad. I've seen more expensive decks in this game. At least not hero. I guess if we get lucky on pack openings and we get like all the ultra rares for whatever the hell this art type is, these Veruras, I could probably make a video on it. We'll see. All right. Moving on, another tier trap. So the other tier traps were crazy. Let's read this one. If you control a Tearlaments monster or Visa Starfrost, target one face-up monster your opponent controls, change it to face-down defense position, then send one Tearlaments monster from your deck to the graveyard. Oh, from your deck to the graveyard. Okay. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you target this monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Alright, so they've got a Book of Moon as well, do they? Right. Bad? Is it? Is this actually bad? A Book of Moon? That sends from deck to grave? I thought your tier monsters like being sent to grave on opponent's turn. Do they not? I heard people saying the deck can play literally on your opponent's turn going seconds. Like, is it actually bad? The card is awful? Bro, I need to see this for myself. Let's have a look. What's its name? Tearlaments Metanoise. See if anyone's playing this. Tearlaments. There's gonna be a lot in here. Oh my god. Let's just click on some random ones. Preferably the ones that don't have fucking Bastille or other one written in its name. So that's why not the traps, okay. Hey, this guy's playing one. Hey, it can't be that bad. one deckless spotted. I played 0 to 1. And I feel like I'd play it in my deck. It's pretty good. I like the look of it. If had decent floating effect would be good. It seems like the kind of card I'd want to play at 1 because if you open this trap card, you want another search target, so you'd search this one instead. But I guess you could search this one instead if you wanted this negate. No, this one, sorry, this one. Like, it's certainly not as good as this trap card, but it seems pretty good to me. A Book of Moon that gives you a card back, gives you a card back if you accidentally mill it. I could only play it at 1 because I wanted it as a search target, but I guess if you're searching for this one, you won't often search for this. I play it because Kashtira. Wouldn't this be too slow versus Kashtira? You need an actual Book of Moon, wouldn't you? Why is you just passing the turn then using it? He has so many good cards they don't need it. Now that sounds more likely. I think the most people saying this track was garbage in chat were absolutely on copium. It's more like the other cards are just better. This card seems pretty crazy. I like it. I'd consider at least playing it at 1, if anything. You wouldn't play more than 1 because you don't really want to open it. You'd prefer to search it. Otherwise, you're just kind of cloggy as starting hands, especially going second. Which this deck is generally pretty good going second as far as I hear, so you wouldn't want to run cards like this that sort of ruin that. It seems pretty good if he gets just a search target. And like I said, we've already seen at least one deck this was playing at the top, so it can't be that bad. Alright. Moving on, we have Tearlaments Heartbeat. Target one spell or trap card on the field, or you can target 2 if you control Visa Starfrost. Yeah, we don't control that. Shuffle them into the deck. Then send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard. If this card is sent... Is this a spell? It's a back row removal. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target one Tearlaments trap in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Oh, a Search Ball MST sort of thing. That's your out to Floodgates. It may be worth playing it. That's fair. 1-for-1 searchable. I just assume anything that's a spell and trap card, Tearlament card searchable. Back row removal. It sends 1 card. I don't know. It adds a trap if you mill it. True. Everything in tier searchable. Oh. Let's have a look and see how many, if anyone's playing it. What's its name again? I should probably... It's still searching by tournament? It is. I mean, people seem to be playing it, I guess, so it can't be that bad. But I assume, like, it's hard to look at, like, tournament tops for a Tearlament, because there's gonna be so many of them that, like, I feel like there's gonna be so much garbage that's gonna slip into Top Cut when there's, like, a Tier 0 format. It's hard to know what's actually good and what's not good. So I was playing one. I thought that one comment in chat about being, like, a Floodgate outer seems like a very valid point. Every deck was carbon copy. I mean, that's not true. Like, all these decks we're looking at right now, all the numbers and, like, lists, they all vary. People are playing certain different ratios of things and stuff. This is, like, on the list I've looked up now, I own the list including this particular card. If I just delete that from the search, you'll see a bunch of different lists appear. I was just wondering if anyone was playing, which apparently there are a lot of people playing this card. But all of them seem to be playing it only one anyway. So it's sort of, again, it's just a one-off. Do you want to run it or do you not want to run it sort of a card, apparently. It's, I guess, format dependent, which I assume in this format, I don't know. To be fair, there's going to be a lot of back row in this format, especially if tiers are setting like counter traps turn 1, so maybe you want to be able to search this thing to force out the back row. It's probably good to be able to force out their counter trap if you can. Yeah, super. This one's like seems more situational than this one. This one's so situational, but it's hard to like decide. I think this is the kind of card I have to test in the deck to see whether or not I actually want to run it or not. Because like having a card that's an out to a Floodgate is fairly useless if you can't actually search the Floodgate without sort of playing into the Floodgate first, you know? Like if they activate a skill drain, like you probably can't search this card anymore, right? Maybe? Unless it's involving some other way to search it, or maybe they activate like a Dimensional Fissure or something, and all your cards getting banished, you're sending to the graveyard. Is there any way to search this then? I assume not. So then it's not really that good into outing Floodgates. Maybe it's good if you just know your opponent's just holding a negate set or something. Like you know your opponent has this thing set, and you just want to search this at some point to just force it out so you can actually make sure you can play the game properly. Read the spell, it outs Floodgates. Which spell? Are we talking about the one I'm currently talking about? Because my point is there a point to running a one-off searchable out to a Floodgate if you can't search for this thing when your opponent has that Floodgate up? Like if they have a skill drain up, you can't search for this thing. I mean, although I don't know how the search effects work in this deck or not. Can I have to pull 9 times Ultra Melffy Ultra is? Hey, well, joke's on you. I'm actually looking forward to pulling Melffy Ultra is. The field spell? Alright, we'll get into that later then. So it's coming up at some point. That's also if that's also an outdoor floodgate, I don't know. We'll see, we'll see. Alright, let's check out the next card. We'll have a look at what the field spell does later when we get to it. Alright, Amazona's Secret Arts. Is there going to be a... So we're looking at the tier cards, and we're wondering if there's a single tier card in this pack that's going to look bad? Is there going to be a single Amazonas card in this pack that looks good? Do they have a single one? Alright, Secret Arts. Fusion summon when Amazonas fusion monster from your extra deck using monster from your hand or field as fusion material. And it's a quick play. Okay, I mean, could be worse. Not bad. Good start. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard once. If you would fusion summon Amazonas fusion monster this turn, you can also send one Amazonas monster from your extra deck to the graveyard as material. Okay. You know what? It's not the worst fusion spell I've ever seen. It kind of does something. I mean, do we have any other fusion... I guess we have 2 fusion targets. This one's garbage, so hopefully this one does something. I guess we'll find out if this card's worth playing once we see this one up here. But as far as actual, like, fusion spells go, just pretending the fusion monsters are whatever, like, pretend they're actually absolute godlike, if we just look at this card in a vacuum, it's not the worst fusion spell I've ever seen, so... Not awful, not awful. Like, rating this card, good. Rating the fusion monsters, that's where things start getting more difficult and determine whether or not you can actually play this card. Because this fusion monster was utter garbage, let's just hope this one does something. Anything. The Royal Martha incident? Hey, Martha had it coming, alright? She had it coming. Her fault for being so goddamn valuable. It was only played in TCG because it's searchable out to Mystic Mine. That could be true. Well, I think Mystic Mine wasn't banned 2 months ago, and I see a lot of these lists were from 2 months ago. So that might not necessarily be the only reason for that. Anyway. Let's move on. Tearlaments Scream. Oh god. Angry card. If a monster is normal, special summoned, and you control a Tearlament monster via Starfrost, you can send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. Okay, also phase monsters, your opponent controls is 500 attack. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you have one Tearlament's Trap from your deck to your hand. So it's a mill 3 on either turn, and it's a search for your trap. 3 of this, no question. We do like mill effects. We also do like trap cards. Are we playing 3 of it, though? It is a continuous, so it's kind of bad to get 2 of them. And again, searchable. Play 6. And in a 60 card deck, it's probably no questions asked you play 3. But in a 40 card deck, we're trying to fit in potentially better millers. You're playing 2 or 3 of it. What do you reckon? I wonder how tight this deck's actually going to be in Master Duel, trying to fit in everything. So there's less limits than in TCG, so... So I assume everybody's playing it, but the question is, how many is everybody playing? Trying to find a list that doesn't say Kashtira on it. Or Bestial. No, here's a few. Let's have a look. How many are we all playing? 2? 2? This seems like the ratio I was thinking of. Yeah, this is the ratio I'm thinking of. I agree, guys. Thank you for confirming my ratio. Yeah, everyone plays it at 2. That's what I'm saying, guys. Good stuff. I agree. Alright, we're putting it at 2, boys. That's where it's going. It's going in the 2 category. Because I feel like it's sort of a card where you don't want to draw 2 of it ever, because if you draw 2 of it, it's a waste of time, because they're once per turn. And you don't want to mill 2 of it ever, because it doesn't do anything that way either. Right? Because both effects are once per turn. And I assume this deck mills a whole bunch, so milling 2 of this will just feel bad. And there's probably technically better mills in this deck too. And it's a searchable card as well. Like, it seems like weird to play it 3. There's a lot of like weird downsides to it. I wouldn't like knock somebody if they wanted to play it at 3, but I feel like I'd want to play it at 2. I'm pretty sure I would. Does it actually hurt the deck to have something I want? I have no idea, because like I said at the start of the stream, I haven't read any of these tier cards yet, which is why I'm sort of going through them all now. So I don't know what any of the other tier cards do, so I'm not sure what these limits actually, how much these limits actually matter. I assume not a whole lot based on the OCG and TCG ban list, where they have like, this dude actually banned, and all these at 1. Or the ratios are going to be kind of wonky. That is true, because there's a lot of limits in the deck. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we play... This is particular I want it to. It's kind of hard to use the argument, though, that you don't want to see 2 of them. Because you make that argument for a lot of once per turn effects, but still a dumb argument generally. But I feel like you don't want to mill this thing, and you don't want to draw it twice. Probably adds to it a bit. Like, if its mill effect was like absolutely incredibly insane, you'd want to have 3 of it. But its mill effect is pretty average, so it's not an awful effect, but it's like you could probably live without it. That's what I'm probably going with. And again, it's searchable, so it doesn't really matter. You might even just search this card and call it a day. Who knows? What decks can I run with Tearlament? Any deck ideas? Anything that likes graveyard stuff? Anything that you're currently running the Ishizu stuff in generally likes the tier stuff, right? So if we run with Ishizu, we can probably run with Tearlament. Yeah, Duel, branded, Chaos List as well. We know Chaos List is doing pretty well in Master Duel. They still tiered. Yeah, they're still in there. So.
Card games on motorcycles.
I should probably keep some of those lists open so I can actually consult later on when we come across more tier cards. We'll keep some of these open. Alright, moving on. Next card on the list. We have Vernusylph Corolla. Toyota Corolla. Thank you for the sub Delta tier, and Trogium Masher from earlier. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Alright. All Earth monsters you control are treated as blah blah monsters. Okay, that's an interesting effect. Once per turn, if you discard a monster, and 1 card to activate the effect of a monster in your hand, you can discard only that monster instead. What? Alright, this card, I can't really, like, rate how good it is, because I don't really know what the point of this whole discarding stuff is. Because I don't think we've come across... We already know these trap cards aren't being played from just looking at TCG stuff. So I don't really know what we're doing with this card yet. Do we care? Does anyone care for this card? Seems like it's a weird effect. It makes all your monsters that, like, archetype. It's such a strange effect to have. Yeah, nobody's playing it. And it's a cool sort of concept, changing your entire, like, Earth monsters to an archetype, but by the looks of things, nobody cares for it. It's mid unless you're playing pure, and no one's going to play pure. So, unfortunately, this card's not going to be seeing much play, despite the adorable card art. Apparently, yeah. Brad with the big brain. Huh? Alright. Moving on. Melffy Staring Contest. Okay. You can reveal 1 beast monster in your hand, add 1 Melffy monster with a different name from your deck or graveyard to your hand, and if you do, place the revealed monster on the bottom of the deck. You only use effects once per turn. At the start of your opponent's battle phase, you can reveal any number of Melffy monsters in your hand and keep them revealed. During the battle phase, monsters your opponent controls lose attack equal to the combined attack and defense of all monsters revealed by this effect. So this card, in pure Melffy, probably pretty good. In the way everybody's going to be playing Melffy with Sprite, we don't care. Because the thing about Sprite Melffy is we're just kind of summoning it. Like, we're just summoning the or searching the Melffys whenever you want them. Because we're just summoning it off of your whatever its name is, your Giga Go blah 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 blah, whatever his name is, this dude. So or we just summon the Xyz, whatever it is, the no, that's right. We just summoning the Xyz. Which one is it? This one? Yeah, just searched up this one. So we summon our sprites, summon our dudes, and then we just end on this thing. So this thing's literally generic. It takes 2 level 2 monsters. So like we literally make this with any of the sprite combo standard, and then just search for your Melffy stuff. So we don't really need a search card for them. We can just grab the Xyz whenever we want it. And we will be. Because don't worry guys, trust me, Melffy Sprite is actually like legit. Let me show you. I just type what if I type Sprite? Okay, that's why did it type backwards. Sprite, and then we look up Melffy. I forget which one's the new one. Wally. Okay, one person. That's the wrong Melffy. That's the spicy way that I'm going to be playing it. The list we're looking for is the other one. Yeah. Penny. Yeah, here we go. As you can see, a lot of people are playing it. Because it's literally just a, I don't want to look up adventure variants. It's literally just a, like a 2 or 3 card package or something you just stuff in, and that's it, if you want to play it this way. Whatever he is. The Melffy Caddy and the Melffy Penny, because it just instantly gets you your Herald, which as we know is pretty good against Tearlament. And other mill decks. So it's an Omni-Negate and it's a Floodgate. And it's literally a 2 card package, that's it. You just need these 2. These 2 and 1 extra deck slot. And you have it. It's honestly pretty crazy to take this. Literally just 2 cards and you get like a nice little Floodgate Omni-Negate. Just on top of your standard sprite play. Sorry, it's 2 extra deck cards, right? You need the search for it? Yeah, you need the search, sorry. So it's 2 extra deck slots needed, which by the way, Sprite has 1 billion extra slots anyway, where they're just running random ass stuff, so it's not hard. You can run this card if you like. I think the way I'm going to be playing it though is going to be a lot more fun for me, because I want to play the, we'll see if that other dude's list actually had it. Melffy, what's his name, Wally? Because I want to play it with Wally as well. Because if you play it with Wally, your end board will end on like a little pop as well, which is a lot more fun. Okay, this guy's gone a bit overkill, but I want to run like, okay, this guy's very overkill. Okay, I'm not going to run it quite like this, but I'm going to have Wally in my list. I have Wally in here. Because Wally allows you to, actually Wally's in the pack, so we'll talk about it when we get to it. I'm getting too overexcited. We'll talk about Wally later when we get to him, because he's up here somewhere. Alright. Alright. Moving on, let's have a look at whatever's next. So this card's good in like pure Melffy, but everyone's going to be playing Melffy Sprite, so no one cares. Melffy's going to execute eventually. We're on some pure copium now, boys. Alright, something in full bloom, a field spell. All monsters you control gain 1000 attack while you control 5 or more earth monsters. Attack boosts are generally pretty irrelevant, but it's relevant for going second because that can probably lead to lethal. 1000 attack on 5 different monsters is kind of crazy. Alright. Spirit's kind of decent. Spiritualist. Who are we talking about now? What are you talking about now, Carrier? Alright. You can use each of the following effects once per turn. You can banish 1 monster and the flower buds from your hand or graveyard. Spell or summon 1 Verna, the goddess, from your deck. Okay. If this monster is spell or summoned from your graveyard, you can target 1 monster on the field or in the graveyard, return it to hand. So a bit of a board breaker. And a search if you haven't opened 1 particular card? Or mill a particular card? I assume it must be just part of a combo or something. Are you playing this in the... Is anyone playing this card in particular? This is super niche. have to have that one particular card for the card to sort of be active, otherwise it doesn't really do a whole lot. Where's my deck searches? Where am I? Yeah. Shit. No. It did seem a little bit weird. Something cheating out Veras? Vernusylphs, whatever they are. It seems very odd. Like, it's such a strange effect. It's so, like, specific. Like, if you happen to have this one card... Is this card an extra deck monster or something? It's just a main deck monster. The Flower Buds. Which one's that? So you just happen to have the main deck monster in your hand or graveyard, you can use it? That's so odd. It's a main deck? What? Bruh. I can kind of see why people don't really want to run this card. It's probably alright in pure, but yeah. Not too exciting, this card. Maybe in like pure variants, the main combo just puts that in the graveyard and then it becomes useful anyway. Like, it's just guaranteed just having that in the graveyard or something. I'm not a super fan of this card. Anyway, moving on. I'd like the removal effect on it though. It will trigger off being milled. Alright. You can send back the card from the deck to the graveyard, but you can do it or search for Max C instead. Huh? This deck searches for Max C? What? What the hell? That sounds kind of crazy. Anyway, let's have a look at Tearlaments' grief. I already see one person in chat telling me it sucks, so let's find out. Does that one person in chat know what they're talking about? Alright. Special summon one Tearlaments monster or one Visa Starfrost from your deck or graveyard. Then send one monster you control with the same type or attribute to the graveyard. Monster you control. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you target one of your banished Tearlaments traps, add it to your hand. Oh, banished. Alright, second effect seems pretty awful, and first effect seems... You have to already have a monster on the field to use it? It sucks, it seems pretty bad. A foolish barrel that requires you to already have a monster on field. But I guess that would be two lots of mills technically, if you're still sending a card to the graveyard, right? I don't think I like the look of it though. Compared to the other tier cards, this is probably the cuttable one, I imagine. Let's see, anyone playing it? Oh, this is what I mean, like, literally there's, despite most of chat being like universally agreeing, bad card, there are still tournament tops of people who are running it. To be fair, not many of them, but there are still people who are playing this card. How crazy is that? Like, there were so many tier tops because it was tier like 0 or whatever, that like no matter what tier card we're putting into the search, there's somebody played it. But yeah, by the looks of things, if there's only like 6 people playing this in a tier 0 format, it's probably garbage. And it looks pretty, yeah, it seems pretty garbage. It's bad, but not that bad. In comparison to the other tier cards, you don't want to see this. This is a card that I think just hard blocks your mills too. Like, I don't know how much this deck banishes, but I feel like I prefer to mill like any other tier card over milling this thing. So I feel like I really don't want to play it. But you are right though, it's not so god awful that, you know, people can't top with it, smile. Still people topping with it. Can't be getting full power too. It's not quite full power, there are some limits. But yeah. Dad's your negate trap. Is your negate trap banished though or something? Like in general? Or is it just the card banishes itself or something? Because I thought that this trap card being graveyard just get added by something else anyway. I guess the trap banished itself maybe when it's in the graveyard. I don't quite remember what these cards did. I've forgotten already. Anyway, let's move on. Amazonas War Chief. Oh my god, damn! Can we zoom in? Okay. Damn, she can step on me any day. Amazonas War Chief. If you control no monsters or monsters you control Amazonas monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is no more special summoned, you can set one Amazonas spell trap card or polarization directly from your deck. Also, you can only attack with Amazonas monsters for this turn. Okay, I mean, again, just like with this card, we can't actually knock this particular card for being bad, because the actual card itself, it's pretty stacked. It's pretty stacked for a monster. It's just, we don't have anything to search with it. Like, you can use this to search for your polymerization or whatever to go into your Amazonas card or whatever, but like, we haven't got anything to grab. Now, the card itself is good, it's just the support that goes around it is just garbage, so it's like, it doesn't, unfortunately it just doesn't do anything. The card itself isn't bad though, so if you are playing Amazonas, I assume you're playing this at like 3. It's pretty crazy of a card for Amazonas if they actually had some actual good support around it. So I wasn't paying attention, is this card good? Yeah, don't blame you buddy, don't blame you. Those muscles do be kind of distracting. They do have a bunch of searches, but the fusions are so bad. Yeah, that does seem like it. Although I haven't looked at the other fusion yet. Okay, maybe this one's crazy. This one's pretty trash, but maybe this one is fantastic. There's no other fusion is new to Amazonas, right? There's no other ones. But who are these guys? Are these guys already in the game? Who the hell are you? What do you do? Other Amazonas cards you control can destroy a battle of card effects, monsters transition, hit battle damage. Okay, that one's garbage. Moving on. Oh my god. Wait, these are so shit. Are they the only fusions so far? They are, okay. What did I just read? I'm not gonna, I didn't want to read those out loud, but like, bruh, don't read them for yourself, okay? Just don't bother. Those two fusions were, I don't know what I just read. That was like some, bro, I think I'd prefer to play, I prefer to main deck in my boy, hey, what's his name? Is it actually a space? What? I swear this is his name. Where's my boy man-eating black shark? Really? There he is! Oh, he's got a hyphen thing. I prefer to main deck this card, to be honest. This one's way more stacked than those fusion monsters. Alright. 2100 attack, beat stick? God damn. Alright. Moving on. Alright. We have the Amazonas Golden Whip Master. Why is there a pendulum card in this archetype? How could they actually make this archetype, like, actually worse? Like, I've never seen support be released for an archetype that made the archetype actively worse. I don't know, is this the first time? Alright. Amazonas monsters you control gain attack equal to their level times 100. Okay. When attack is declared involving your Amazonas monsters, you can target one spell trap card on the field, destroy it. So like a battle... Oh, god. Okay. Spell and trap card removal on battle. Damn, that's crazy, dude. Hell yeah. Put that in my pendulum zone. If this card is in the monster zone, destroy a battle or card effect, you can place this card in your pendulum zone. Okay. If an Amazonas monster is special summoned to your field, while this card is in your graveyard, you can place this card in your pendulum zone. But do I want it in my pendulum zone? You may be able to put this in the pendulum zone, but do I want it there? Do what stoner wrote this archetype, actually? Bro, what is this card? I don't understand. The support is so bad. It's amusingly bad, bro. What am I looking at? Don't laugh. It can literally out Magic Cylinder shit. You're right. My bad. Actually, isn't Magic Cylinder, like, on declare of attacks? Isn't this thing not out Magic Cylinder? Can't they use it in response? Oh, this even out Magic Cylinder, doesn't it? It doesn't. It literally doesn't. They activate Magic Cylinder in response, don't they? Isn't Magic Cylinder on the, like, attack declaration? Why am I even looking this up? I don't care enough. Why am I looking this up? Jesus, what is this card? Why did they decide to add pendulums of all things? Okay, moving on. Let's look at something else that hopefully doesn't suck. Alright, blah blah of the Flourishing Hills. Monster you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. You discard this card, add one monster from your deck to your hand. Okay. Then you can special summon one Earth monster from your graveyard. Or you cannot activate non-Earth monster effects for the rest of this turn. Is that second effect optional? You can, so I assume this means even without a graveyard target, you can still use its search effect, right? Any confirmation on that? So, yeah, what was the final third? Oh, it's only once per turn. Any confirmations from any Vernusylph card players? You don't need a card engraved to use its effect, I imagine, because it's just because the second effect is then, but it's a choice. Yes. Ah, okay. You special summon herself as well? Okay. Oh, so off her own discard? Okay. No, this card's cracked. Searches for one of its other art type cards and can special summon an Earth monster. Just any Earth monster. That's pretty crazy. Pretty cracked. Playing them in Madolche. Madolche's gonna hit well. Yeah, this card seems actually nasty. I don't think we need to search up in on YGO Pro if people are playing this. I assume this is the one that people are playing, like, at 3 of. As their, like, main engine piece. Or, like, tech piece or whatever. Package piece. It pairs with the Ishizu cards. Alright, pretty good card. Just a searcher. Please not Ultra Red. I don't know, boys. I'm only seeing 4 Ultra Rares in here. They have to be Ultra Rares somewhere. Probably a lot of them are going to be in the Ishizu cards, to be fair. But I reckon this one, it reads like an Ultra Rare. I'm going to be honest. This reads like an Ultra Rare. This card seems pretty good. I'm pretty certain this will be an Ultra Rare. But I was going to put money on anything in here. It very reads like an Ultra Rare, because you probably want this at 3. If you want it at 3, Konami wants you to pay money for it. Especially some of the Earth Barrier statue. Oh god. Oh god, no please. Alright, well this one's kind of cute, it's a little bear. Alright. Something of the Awakening Forest. You can discard this card and one monster or blah blah card. Send from your deck to the graveyard one Earth monster that can be normal summoned or set. Then you can special summon one Earth monster from your graveyard with a different name from that monster. Or you cannot activate non-Earth monster effects the rest of this turn. Okay. You can target one monster you control against... is this even good? Discard this and another monster. Send a card to the graveyard. You can't special summon that particular card. I guess you can special summon back itself. I guess it brings back itself, so it's a foolish bearer that can bring back something. The thing you discard. Sends literally any Ishizu card. Oh yeah, the Ishizu effect will proc, right? Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's true. That's a pretty good effect, I imagine. Huh. 1,000,000 Ishizus. At a cost of a discard, but then you just special summon something back anyway. Just special summon the back thing you discarded. It's a good way to get stuff on the board without even a normal summon. Okay, at least this one's reading more like an SR though. I reckon this one will be SR. You can send block. Is block normal summonable / settable? Can you normal summon block dragon? Really? No, it can't send block. Can you set cards that can be normal summoned or set? Block says no. But I can certainly send the Ishizu cards. Does Madolche benefit from graveyard sends though? Like, where are we playing it? Who's playing it? Where are we playing it? Let's have a look at Madolche. I'm just curious how many people are actually playing. What the hell? Why is it less? That makes 0 sense. What? What? Huh? How could it be less? Flourishing Hills. What? How's it less? I'm so confused anyway. There's only 3, there's only 3 tops with it. Alright. Well, seems like a pretty good card. Probably more of an SR card than an Ultra. This one's definitely the Ultra category, though. Alright, moving on. Tearlament Rhinoheart. Okay. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can send 1 Tearlament monster from your deck to the graveyard. Okay, so on normal or special, you're going to be sending a tear to the grave, which will obviously proc the tear's effect, so not bad. This thing is not limited, right? Or is it limited? It's not limited, alright? So this is a tier card that actually isn't limited. If this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can special summon this card, banish it when it leaves the field. And if you do, send 1 Tearlament card from your hand to the graveyard. You can use each effect once per turn. Oh, okay. So if this thing gets sent to the grave, it will summon itself, then send another tier card, right? This seems pretty good. 1 in OCG, 3 of here. I guess it's 3 of in TCG. It's lining up the TCG ban list. Are we playing this at 3 in tier, boys? It seems pretty good. If you ever mill this card, you're just milling another tier. It's a pretty decent normal summon, I guess. Are we playing it at 3? I think I'm playing this at 3. I'm playing 6. That sounds likely as well. I'd play 7 of these, I reckon. Some people ran it at 2. Let's have a look. Let's have a check. Let's have a quick look. I reckon this is a... Actually, we've got a few lists up here already, don't we? Let's get some more lists. That's not the right... Huh? Is that... Hello? What? I spelled that wrong. There it is. When did it show up before? What? No decks playing it? What is going on here? Excuse me, website? That is incorrect. I do not believe you. Okay, what's going on here, buddy? No decks found. What am I doing here? Is that real? Yeah, don't lie to me. I'm telling you, there are decks playing it. You are not. Okay, there we go. Hello? Okay, we have quite a few lists. Let's have a look at some Ishizu tiers, trying to avoid all the random stuff, because there's a lot of random stuff in here. Ishizu tiers. These are all tournament topping decks, by the way, chat, for anyone curious what I'm looking at. Only TCG. I think only TCG anyway. Oh, that should be enough to have a look at. Alright, what's the ratios of our boy Rhinoheart? I assume... Oh, these are after the limits. Does that count? Is he playing any of them? Oh, so he's playing 3, but this is after the limits. He's only playing 2. 3. 3. I guess he's only playing 2, even with the limits? Maybe it is only a 2 to 3 off chat. Maybe not a lot of people are actually playing it at 3. I reckon I'd play it at 3, but we see some older decks. Let me just click this next button a billion times. Go back a bit. Let's find some older lists. Ones that are hopefully... Alright, we can stop going back now. Okay, I get it. Okay. Alright, we hit? Alright. Let's see some older lists. Hopefully these ones won't have the limits attached to them. We'll see what numbers of people are playing. I'll probably just click the same list twice, but that's alright. Why is that one got Notoria Exterior on it? Are people playing... people really playing Cyberstein? These are still in the limits. My god, there are so many... This just shows how many tournament tops there are, chat. I've gone back like 72 different pages to try to find the lists that weren't limited, and we're still finding lists that have limits in them. Oh no, because these are... Okay, never mind. They actually are unlimited. It's just... They're just showing the numbers on them. I'm dumb. Never mind, I'm just dumb. Reinhardt still seems to be a 2 and 3 up, even with unlimits. This is the Giga mix, so I guess it's just personal preference, I think. Though it looks like when most of these cards were free, everyone's playing it at only 2. Oh no, it's a decent amount. It looks like it's just personal preference, so it's kind of up to you guys what you want to do. I think I'd run it at 3. I like the idea of having 3 of this, I think. I think its graveyard effect is warranting enough where even if you hit 2 of them and you like miss a mill because it's only a once per turn, I think I'm still happy with it. Just, yeah, it seems good enough. I think I want 3 of it. Especially with some limits that we've got up here. It'd be nice to be able to just send these whenever we want them. Alright. What's next on our list of cards? Amazonas. Oh my god, there's more Amazonas cards to go through. Another Pendulum? Oh god. Alright, Amazonas Silver Sword Master. God. Okay. Pendulum effect. Amazonas monster you control gain attack equal to their level times 100. Great. When attack is declared involving Amazon, it's same as the other one. Okay, well its first effect is garbage. Wait, please tell me its effects are different. If this card is in the monster zone destroyed by a card effect, you place it in the Pendulum zone. If an Amazonas card is spell summons to your field, but this card's in your graveyard, you place... Right, do they literally just reprint the same card with a different scale? Right, if the first one was garbage, we don't need a second copy of it. Huh? Excuse me? It's a fault of Yu-Gi-Oh! For not favouring battle. Ah, yes. It's Yu-Gi-Oh!'s fault. Not the intern that designed this card. That is some gigacopium there, Harrier. It's garbage. Yes, if I Dark Crawler no more my opponent, I can now use this card, yes. Wait, never mind, that doesn't work, because they'll just use their back row in response before this card gets to activate. Oh, shit. So answer an Arc 5. So? Huh? Brick Simulator. Man. Alright, let's pretend these pendulum cards didn't exist before they burn my eyes. Let's move on. Oh, God. Alright. Venerable of the Misting Seedlings. Oh, this guy's got some little duckies. Oh, that's kind of cute. Oh, he is a duck. Oh, he's cute as hell. All monsters on the field lose 600 attack except other monsters. You discard this card and one monster or one other card. You can activate non-Earth monster effects for this turn. Also add one Earth Fairy monster from your deck to your hand. These cards are Earth Fairy, right? How is Kelbeck? Yeah, they're Earth Fairies. I see. So that's a searcher for Ishizu cards. Then you can special summon one Earth Fairy monster from your graveyard. So, Madolche's Earth Fairy? I don't actually know what Earth Madolches are. They are, I see. So it's a searcher for some Madolche stuff. That's not all the Madolches there, right? It's only 2 of them. Search all through Greatkeeper's Trap. Card's Crash seems pretty cracked, just another searcher. So this deck has 2 searches for it, because they can search for each other. You can literally use this to search for another searcher. Just search into search. It can be a searcher for Madolche, but it will only be used for Mill Simulator 9K. There's a lot of milling going on in this archetype. Oh, this selection pack I've noticed. Just a little bit. Just a tad. Alright. Cool. So we've got to search for in-art type stuff, search for Madolche, and search for Ishizu milling bullshit. Now go back and read their field spell. Have we come across their field spell? This one? I think we already established no one was playing this, though. Oh, for being able to grab a hold of these cards, you can get them a lot easier. What was the card they were needing? Flower and Buds. Oh, that's the one coming up somewhere. Where is this Buds card? Who's it talking about? Who's Flower Buds? It's the trap card? I mean, I guess it is searchable. Alright, well, I think we already established that no one was playing this from just the toppings. No one was a huge fan of this card. I think I'm still not a huge fan of it. Because it's not too awful now that I know there's like 6 searches in the deck, so you can sort of get a hold of it. It's kind of a convoluted search going from this one to search this one to grab the trap card to be able to use the field spell. I think it's very convoluted. Alright, moving on. Let's have a look at Winnie the Pooh over here, who actually looks incredibly like Winnie the Pooh. Okay. You can discard this card and 1 monster, draw 1 card. Then you spirit summon Earth monster from your graveyard. Okay, not the greatest effect. You can target 1 monster you control. It can make a 2nd attack during each battle phase. I think this one's probably not making the cut, right? This one kind of, and we're talking about non-pure, I guess, because like in pure, this thing makes, even in non-pure, this thing makes like, if you're running the field spell, you can make like anything have double attack with this, but if you're not running the field spell, you're probably definitely not running this card. One of is kind of like an option, because it kind of helps lethal, but I don't think this deck that summons a billion cards and does a billion milling is worrying about lethaling. House of Madolche. I really don't think Madolche care, though. If Madolche gets interrupted before they can do their full combo, then you're going to lose anyway. But if they don't get interrupted, then they don't really need extra cards to help OTK, right? As far as I'm aware, Madolche are pretty good at murdering if they're able to summon out 15 monsters. It's like, seems like super win more in my opinion, right? He's very win more-y to me. I like these other cards, but this one's season. It's like these cards even have decent attack stats, so they're only being used if you have like this thing on the field, which actually lets them have turns everything into a monster. Wait, was it even this card? Whichever one it was, this one here. Sorry, this card. I was looking for the card that turns everything into a Vernusylph, whatever the hell this card's name is. Monster. If you're not playing this, you're definitely not playing this. Alright, moving on. Rabbits. Very fitting for an Easter coming up. Vernusylph of the Flowering Fields. Okay. Your opponent cannot target monsters you control with card effects. Okay. You discard this card, add one monster card, add one earth monster from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. Then you spell summon one from your graveyard. Alright, so this one's looking good as a one-of. Because this one's like searchable. If you mill something good, you get this to grab it back and you get a special summon off of it. So this one's probably like a one or a two of, right? This one seems pretty good. Can even run this at 3. Depends on how good the milling is in this deck, which I assume is going to be pretty good. It's definitely at least one, because this seems like a really good card to grab off these dudes if you accidentally mill something you want. This one searches Max C. Oh. Oh, it, I see. Ah, yes. Alright, I want 17 of these in my list all of a sudden. No particular reason, but... What the Ah, yes. Searchable Maxi. Yes. Give me that. Give me that Maxi from the graveyard. Put that in my hand. Oh, yes. Sure. Okay, we're definitely playing some of these. I'm playing 25. Out of my 60 card deck list, at least 59 should be this rabbit. And one Maxi, of course. We need the Maxi in there. God damn. Thankfully, we're not going to be seeing... I don't think we'll be seeing too much of this card. Because I think everyone's going to be playing too much tier to see a lot of this. And, yeah. So I don't think we have to worry too much about this combo. But that is a disgusting combo. If you want to play it with Madolche, if you want to play it with Notoria, but Notoria needs some new support. So at the moment, it's probably just going to be Madolche and the occasional Adamantipator if you want to play it in that too. Do the Madolche lists run this? I assume they do. Actually, it's probably weird looking up lists for TCG because they don't even have Max C, so maybe they won't play this. I see none. What do they play there? What's the name? So if we avoid the Notoria list, have I grabbed all the ones we could? There's only 2. Oh, there really was only 2? There's 2 Madolches? Oh, the rest are Notoria. We don't have the Notoria support yet. He's playing double Winnie the Pooh. It's crazy. This guy's playing 1. But I feel like this is not a fair example. It's got cash tiers in it. We don't have cash tiers yet, buddy. This guy has it as well. Wait, these has cards we don't own yet. Hey. Alright, well I feel like the fact that we have Max C in the game means we have to run this card, but maybe it's only a one-off. We'll see.
Card games on motorcycles!
Alright. Sir, those are hand traps, are they? I have no idea what a Kashtira does. Or a Bestial does. But it's cool they exist. Alright. Thank you for the sub, William, and German Nightcore Melody. Appreciate it. Alright, let's have a look at the next card. We have Amazonas Spiritualist, another waifu. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can target one Amazonas card you control, except Amazonas Spiritualist. You cannot spell summon monster in your extra deck for the rest of this turn, except Amazonas monsters. Also, return the target card to your hand. If you do spell summon this card. If this card is spell summon, you get one polymerization from your deck to your hand. mean... It's like, this is such a... Why would that... I'm so getting sick of reading some of these cards. Why is it designed in a way where you're searching Poly when they have their own fusion spell now? Why wouldn't it search their new fusion spell? Isn't that like a cooler interaction? Why would they design it like this? That sounds odd. Why am I searching for Poly when I have this now? Why would we search for this? Wouldn't that be cooler? But again, we're facing the same issue of I don't want to summon their fusion monsters. We haven't read this one yet, but the other fusion monsters, let's just say, let's pretend... Let's look at the bright side, guys, alright? Just stop looking at the negatives. Another searcher for the deck, even though the deck already has a billion searches. No, they can't search superplate, so just polymerization. Locks you in the amazing Amazonas fusions. Oh shit. Yeah, well, I'm afraid this card, I mean, in a vacuum it's probably not awful, but for the standards of how bad this art type is, this thing isn't going to carry it. That's basically the opinion. Alright. Speaking of cards that are actually amazing, that was an awful transition there, but good enough. Melffy Penny. Alright. Beast Effect Tuner, level 2. Alright, this card's actually stacked. If a face-up beast monster you control was returned to the hand this turn except Melffy Penny, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon one synchro monster using only this card you control and Melffy monsters in your hand. During the end phase, if this card's in your graveyard, you can target one Beast Exceeds monster you control, attach this card to it as material. Oh, so that's how you get materials underneath the Exceed you get back from the Merry Melffys. That's how you get materials back. Okay, that makes this card make a bit more sense now. There actually is a mechanic that puts stuff underneath them. Okay. I see. Yeah, this card's great, because you see, you get hold of this card, and you turn it into a copy of either this dude, or, like we mentioned earlier, you can make your Herald. Man, my fucking nose is so goddamn itchy. Hang on, chat. My nose is in dire need of a bit of a definitely not picking. Oh, god damn it. Eh. Alright. Apologies. Yeah, so this helps you summon your Herald. This is part of the, like, 4-card sort of package you need to run in Sprite if you want it, which gives you a Floodgate that basically stops your opponent sending cards to graveyard, which, as we know, Tearlament likes to do. So, I wouldn't be surprised if this just becomes the main way to play Sprite. A copy of this, a copy of the monster you use for it. Let me just go on lists for bring up a list while we're here. Melffy. Shame they all look roughly the same. Yes, you just need your Melffy Cat, which is your search. You need your Melffy Penny, which is your special summon, and you get a synchro summon out of it. Yeah, because if an opponent's monster targets this card for it, if your opponent normal or special summons a monster, or if they declare an attack, you return this card to your hand, then add one beast monster from your deck to your hand, which will be this dude. Which then, if a face-up beast monster you control is returned to hand, you can immediately special summon this card from your hand, then synchro summon one synchro monster using only this card, and Melffy monsters in your hand. So it's literally just this thing searches for this thing, and then you fuse using the two of them, or synchro using the two of them. And it leaves you with a card that's actually a really decent counter to Ishizu, so... And Tearlament. Not enough Melffys in that list, trash. Hey, I agree. My list is definitely be running the Wally as well. But I think the standard list now is going to be playing this just because it's a really nice package. It's literally only 2 cards. Like, you could easily fit 2 cards into Sprite. An extra deck, you could easily fit the 2 extra deck monsters needed too. Now, this didn't play Smashes? Really? Ooh, he's playing this one over Smashes? Gross, bro. Put Smashes in your list. What are you doing? I mean, this guy placed top 64. I mean, he's popping off. Alright, probably not the best list to go off of a top 64 list. Let's grab another one. Let's have a look at this dude. Where'd you place? First place? Okay, now we're talking. There you go. See, this guy has a smashers, doesn't he? See, this guy's like, he's Monster Reborn? What the hell is this thing? Okay, I'm not even gonna, we're just gonna ignore looking at this. He's a Chad. Hey, any Melffy player is a Chad in my book. Even if it does become the most relevant way to play. Alright, let's have a look at the actual. See, smashes equal first place? True. Alright, now we're on to the exciting cards. The announced cards. These are the cards that were literally announced to get people hyped to get into this box. This is the hype cards right here. Alright, what do we got? Alright. We have Tearlaments, Skyren? How the hell do you pronounce this? God damn it. Just want to keep that tab open. Google Translate.
Tearlaments Shuren.
Tearlaments Shiren. Tearlaments Shiren.
Sheeran.
Tearlaments Shiren.
Tearlaments Sheeran.
Tearlaments Shuren.
Shuren.
Tearlaments Shiren.
What the fuck are these words? What am I reading here? Tearlaments Sheeran. Okay. During your main phase, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you do, send one monster from your hand to the graveyard. Then send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. Okay. It's a special, it's a it doesn't take your normal summon up, okay. And it's a mill 3. And it sends a card that's potentially another Ishizu or another tier monster to the graveyard. Okay, that first part of the effect already stacked, okay. So that's already looking pretty strong. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck by placing fusion materials mentioned on it from your hand, field, and or graveyard, including this card from your graveyard on the bottom of your deck. Yeah, I reckon you're probably going to be playing as many of this as you can possibly fit in your deck. Card sucks, don't play it. Yeah, you're right. Just might as well not even use this card. Why'd they even bother limiting it? Oh, God. Yeah, this thing actually just summons itself without your normal summon. So it saves your normal summon for, like, for your other tier monster, or I've forgotten the name of the card, the stupid fairy that sends an Ishizu to grave. Last part's the other two as well. What, the fusion summon? Okay. This is the worst one. That's rough to hear. Oh God. Don't play the third copy. Yeah, you're right. Damn, that's actually a stacked card already. That's just the first one. All right. Well, I don't think we need to worry too much about whether or not people are going to be playing that. That's a hell yeah. Probably going to be ultra rare along with the other 3 of them. These are all ultra rare chat. They're probably going to make these ultra rare as well, let's be honest. This one's ultra rare as well. Let's have all tier ultra rares. God, they're going to be so greedy with this, aren't they? These 4 are all going to be ultra rares, and they might just be like, you know what? The counter trap, also an ultra rare. I can see it. I could see them doing that. 5 ultra rares. That'd be too insane, right? Surely they'll give us some SRs. Surely these will be the only ultra rares. Like, 4 is already insane. And we know they'll do it. There's no way they'll stop at 3. They're too greedy for that. They know how much money this pack's gonna make. Alright, I mean, to be fair, it's probably worth it. Anyway. Tearlaments Scottish. My Scottish has no... There's no person to translate for me. Hey!
Tearlaments Merrily. Tearlaments merrily.
Merrily. Alright. That's not too hard to pronounce. Alright. Merrily. To Google. Alright. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. Okay. So that's a pretty decent normal summon. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can fusion summon blah blah blah. Including this card. Wait, how's this one worse than this one? Isn't this one better? You guys say this was the worst of the 3 ones up here. Isn't this one worse? What's better about it? Because it's a level 2 for Elf, is that why? It's a level 2 for Elf, that's what makes it better. I see, so literally just because of the level. Alright, sure. There's gonna be a lot of good mill dude, there's a lot of targets with the Sprite Elf summons this, or it summons your other dude, your fairy that sends the Ishizu to the grave. God damn. Alright. Well, if this one fails, you just normal summon this one instead. Smile. No wonder Ash Blossom's so bad, right? Because Ash Blossom just cannot be used on the amount of milling this deck does. You Ash one of them, and the other one just mills 3 instead. No wonder Ash is going to be completely... I guess to be fair, Ash isn't completely dead, because people still don't care. People still care about Max C. But outside of Max C, like, why would you play Ash against this? You just wouldn't. How much is this? I heard this this deck doesn't care as much against Max C, because you can play a little bit during your opponent's turn, right? So you just pass if you see Max C, and then you just sort of stop your opponent playing during their turn. Another reason not to play Ash. I think Ash is going to be pretty dead in this format. Yep, I see. The next card enables it? I see. I mean, if you mill any of these during your opponent's turn, they're going to fusion summon into whatever they fusion summon into, which I assume has some sort of interaction on it, maybe. I don't know, you haven't read these cards, but they shouldn't have slid in there. And I know this deck has some way to summon the Predaplant dude. This dude. Now, there's also people playing Winder as well, so if you can summon Winder during the opponent's turn, that's also a good way to sort of deal with them maxing you on your turn. We'll see. Anyway, moving on. We'll have a look at our Havness. Tearlament Havness. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. Okay, so it's a hand trap. And if you do, send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. Okay. And then praise the fusion effects, right? If this card's sent to the graveyard, you can fusion summon, blah, 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 blah. So fusion effect. Okay, so it's a hand trap that mills. I guess to be fair, the mill has tier one of your... It's not too hard to do. It's one of your tier cards or one of your Ishizu cards. What's even the ratio? Okay, let's actually do a little bit of math here. How many tier cards have we got that mill? You mill tier, right? Yeah, he does because he's he special summons. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 of them. And the Ishizu stuff we have 4 that mill, right? So what, 13? This is 13 millers? You're milling 3. Your starting hand is, well, 5, so we're at 35. So this hand trap mills 3, right? What's the odds to hit an Ishizu? Oh. So in a deck size of 35, because you have 35 cards in your 5 in hand, and let's say you have the hand traps. You opened this dude, this hand trap. And there's 13 millers in your deck. I guess -1 because you drew one. Because you're talking about the hand trap. That gets pretty high. I guess to be fair, this might be even less because you might have drawn other ones. Let's say you have 11, let's be fair. So you open 2 of these. It's still like 70%. Like on your opponent's turn, the chance of you milling just off of the 3 cards from this, just 3, You're likely to hit another Ishizu for another mill. Does she have 2 mills, not 4? No, because they have the 2 copies of each. So that's 4. 69, nice. Yeah. The Ishizus aren't run at 1 each. There's 4 of them. So that's 4 millers. Does the spell trap cards don't mill it? After they added back. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Was any of these cards when they're sent to grave mill? This one adds to hand. This one adds to hand. Adds to hand. No, let me add to hand, right? Yeah, you kind of get what I mean, right? Even just off that mill 3 alone, you have such a high chance. It's pretty crazy. This is like assuming we drew 2 of them. So yeah, this card's gonna be pretty crazy. And if you do hit it, that is a fusion summon on your opponent's turn of something. Oh, this card's dark. Wait, this card can literally be turned into Winder, right? Oh, they're all dark. They can all be turned into Winder. God, no wonder this is played with Shadow. Winder turn 1. Winder on your opponent's turn when they're going first. How cringe is that? What the hell? That is so gross. Yikes. Ugh. That's actually disgusting. Winder during your opponent's turn. Who decided that was a good idea? That's probably not even going to be the best way to play it too. That's just one of the ways you can do it. One of the cancer things you can do. People are probably more likely to summon the Draco Stapeli or whatever his name is, the Predaplant dude. Just summon this fella. Just summon your boy Draco Stapeli and just negate something. He just takes a dark monster, just sure. Hey, bro. And he literally turned 0 Winder. Pretty crazy. Alright. Moving on. We have Primeval Planet Polar blah blah blah. This card doesn't have Tearlament in the name, which is interesting. When this card is activated, you can add 1 Tearlament monster or 1 Visa Starfrost from your deck to your hand. So it searches for any of your Tearlament monsters. Doesn't search for the trap cards though. Fusion monsters and Tearlament monsters you control gain 500 attack. If a Tearlament monster you control or in your graveyard is shuffled into the deck or extra deck, you can target 1 card on the field, destroy it. Oh. Okay. Okay. So already pop in a card. Blowing is once per turn. Yeah, it's about once per turn. Okay, so I can see why this is at 1. But to be fair, it doesn't seem like it's very obtainable. It's like, did you open your terraforming or did you open this card? Otherwise, we're not grabbing it, right? Because it doesn't even have Tearlament in the name. So it's good and all, but we're probably not be seeing it most of our games, I imagine. Which is probably a good thing. It seems pretty busted. But you're 100% playing it. Sorry, chat, my nose is goddamn itchy again. Not bad. Ugh. Dying over here. Metaverse can also... I don't think we're playing Metaverse. I'm pretty glad it's limited to. This card seems actually crazy. It's a search and it's a good board breaker going second, which is pretty insane. But yeah, like I said, we probably don't be seeing it all that often, thanks to it being limited, and we've only got 1 terraforming, which is like the only 2 ways of really like realistically getting a hold of it. It's easily searchable off what? It doesn't have its name isn't Tearlament. So you can't even grab it. Oh, Rainbow Bridge? Okay, yeah, okay. We're getting into some very, that's like post Limit 1 ban list copium going on there. Playing the Crystal Beast package for it. I'm not playing that. You could not catch me dead playing that fucking package. It seems so awful. But it's like 2 Garnet package, isn't it? have to play that turtle. You literally have to play the turtle. To play that specific package, for people that don't know, it involves a trap card that sends to search for your field spell, but you have to play the stupid turtle. Where is it? This thing. You literally have to play this, don't you? I'm not playing this goddamn turtle in my deck. Turtle for the Aqua Fusion? Oh god. The realms of copium. I am not playing this Crystal Beast package just for this. I refuse. I refuse. I will play this at 1 with my terraforming and call it a day. We're not playing that stupid turtle. Don't call the turtle based, chat. Let's not call it turtle based. Come on. The turtle isn't so bad. Why? It's just like the Aqua Fusion. You know, okay, I can see that, but anything else, like it's just a 20,000 defense monster. It's not even level 2. I can't even summon it off elf. Okay, let's move on and stop talking about this dumb turtle. All right. Tearlaments Kit Kat. If this card is special summoned, you can take 1 Tearlament card from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. Okay. Right, so as soon as you hit any of your Ishizu summons, you just get to summon this for a mill. Okay. You can target 1 monster you control, special summon a Tearlament monster from your hand. I see how you make Stapelia with this, right? Because they're just any of these summons this, mill 1, fusion summon again, and there's just Stapelia, because this is the fusion, right? No wonder it makes Stapelia. Oh god, instant fusion target? You're not wrong. Oh god, it's level 5. It's literally an instant fusion target. What the hell? I was wondering why they were all running instant fusion. That's crazy. Instant fusion instantly gets you a Foolish Burial or a search. Holy. You make a turtle video. Wait, that's actually cracked. Yeah, no wonder it's banned. Alright, where were we? You can target a monster you control, special summon a Tearlament monster from your hand or graveyard. If you do, send the targeted monster to the graveyard. Can it send itself? It can. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can send the top 5. It can send itself and it mills when it does. Bro, it can send a tear to the grave, then it can target itself, send it to the grave, bring back the thing you just sent, then mill 5. Is that what it actually does? Is this thing literally an instant fusion 1 card mill like 7? Mill 8? Wait, is it actually 8? 5? Oh, it's 8. I'm dumb. These things mill 3, don't they? Oh my god, instant fusion mill 8. Oh my god. Bro, who needs grass? Who needs grass when you just mill 8 anyway? Bro, no wonder people were considering not playing grass with this deck. Why would you bother? Just have higher chance to hit your tiers. Keep the 70% chance to just mill into this on turn 1. Bloody hell. But like, no meme. Like, this is actually crazy going first. Grass is not used on tier. I mean, we wouldn't know that because it was banned in both TCG and OCG when this thing was live, but we wouldn't use this, and I don't think we're going to use it just because we want to have max chance of hitting these. If these were at 3, I'm playing grass, but these aren't at 3, so I think I would keep the 70% chance, whatever it is. But keep my deck size small. No wonder this thing's banned. This thing's absolutely crazy. Mill 8 on your opponent's turn? Oh my god, it doesn't have to be sent by its own... Wait. It's only when it's sent by card effect though, right? So how are you milling 8 on opponent's turn? Oh my god, wait, does fusion summoning with these guys count as being sent by a card effect? Because you literally can then, right? If it does. So you activate this thing as a hand trap, you mill one of these, you fusion summon into this, it sends another, it fusion summons into Stapelia, which sends this to the graveyard, which mills. It doesn't even need its own effect. It literally just mills just off of a fusion summon. What? You actually mill 8 on your opponent. You literally mill 8 on opponent's turn. Oh my god, what is this archetype? Bruh, mill 8 opponent's turn? Bruh, Chaos deck's out here struggling using a Chaos roll at a mill 5. Bruh, this dude just milled 8 for free? Get this shit out of here. What is this unbalanced bullshit? What? Who put this in the custom card generator? What's going on here? Now, you know why it's tier 0, I guess. This card is ridiculous. Limiting it to 1 means literally nothing, though. Bruh. I mean, I guess it means a little bit. But if you can resolve this once, you're gonna be so... You guys have seen how much the Chaos decks do with literally one summon of the Chaos Ruler? Which, I guess, to be fair, generally goes into the other dude that mills a few as well. But bruh. I wonder if Tearlaments are going to do the same thing that Ishizu did. The Ishizu Chaos decks, where they run 2 copies of Snow. I think I'm in favor. I really like the 2 copies of Snow ratio, but that might be because they're playing Grass as well. Like, how much do we really want to see this card? I think I want to see this card a lot, so I think I might even run this at 2. I'm not sure how much I like the 2 ratio. Snow's just a crazy card in general. One Snow might be optimal in 40, but I wouldn't be against playing 2. Snow is bad in tier, that's cap. Snow can never be bad. I doubt you would ever see a list for Ishizu in Master Duel that isn't playing... Tearlaments and Master Duel that won't be playing Snow. Snow is slow. Now that is cap. Yeah, no, a monster that continuously summons itself as many times as you like can never be bad. At worst, you make Abyss Dwellers with it. Alright, there's plenty of level 4s in this deck, and the Ishizu is level 4. You need cards in grave. You're milling 8 cards with this thing. And then you're milling, and in those 8 cards, if you hit a single Ishizu, you're milling another 5. You're always getting enough. Hello? Snow literally makes Dweller. You know what's really good against a deck that's literally going to be tier 0, summoning a bunch of stuff from, or acting a bunch of effects in Graveyard? A certain card that deals with that. A certain, Abyss Dweller. Yeah, literally mill 13 if you hit a single Ishizu off this thing. You think you're not going to have enough resources for a singular Snow? By the way, mill 13 and 40 card does mean you probably only need 1 Snow. That's like nearly... That's getting close to 50% chance of hitting a Snow when you have 5 cards in opening hand. I guess you want to have it in hand though. So maybe 2 Snow is good. I don't know. We'll see. These ratios are going to look really weird. Anyway, let's stop looking at this card. We've got a lot more cards in here to go. Including Melffy Wally. So, Mr. Wally over here is a really cool card, but most people aren't going to be playing it. I think my list will be playing it though, because it's a lot more fun. So if your opponent normal or special summons a monster except during the damage step, or if an opponent's monster targets this card for an attack, you return this card to hand, summon 2 Melffy monsters from your deck with different names. So, the reason I want to play this card is because you can still play the standard Melffy Sprite package, because I'm talking about purely Melffy Sprite here. This card, when they summon something, you get to summon 2 Melffys. So you get to summon the Melffy card that we're playing in Sprite for the Synchro stuff, this dude. Because then when they summon another card, this thing will swap over, get your Fusion Summon out. But you can also summon... Oh, sorry. This one, sorry. Melffy Cat. Summon this one, it'll do whatever. But it summons 2 monsters, so it'll also bring out the puppy. And the puppy is cool, because the puppy can swap over for a monster pop. I forgot the name of the card that it swaps it over for, but... Basically, this version will give you your same Synchro Fusion stuff, but it'll also give you a pop as well. Which I think is the way I want to play it, but I think the more optimal way is just going to skip the pop and just go straight for the Herald. Which both summon Herald, but maybe it's better to summon Herald quickly, considering you want to do it before your opponent, you know, summons 52 monsters off their mill 14 from this bullshit. Yeah. That's probably much better, because you want to get out your mills, you want to stop them milling as quickly as possible. Which you can do on any of their summons, whereas this one would have to wait for 2 summons to do it. Yeah, maybe you can't. Maybe you actually can't. You don't have enough room. You don't have enough time, I mean, to do the full rabbit play. Wally's so cool though. It gives you the 2 Melffys, but I guess you really have to get the Herald out as quickly as possible in the next meta. So maybe you can't even have. There's not enough time to wait for your opponent to do 2 summons. I know, we'll see though. I like Wally. Thankfully, it's only an SR, so it's very cheap if you want to play it. I wonder if I'm going to put Penny as an ultra rare. They actually might. This card might be an ultra rare too. It is a pretty stacked card. We'll see. We'll see how this deck turns out. Alright, moving on. Oh, God. I don't want to review another Amazonas card, chat. I really don't. Oh, God. Amazonas Augustus. Or Augusta. Amazonas... Oh my god, this thing takes an Amazonas fusion monster first? Okay. Okay, so it's already a fairly interesting summoning condition. If this card is fusion summoned, you can special summon an Amazonas monster from your deck. Okay. You only use the effect Amazonas monster once per turn. Your opponent cannot target other Amazonas cards you control with card effects. They can still target this one. Also, they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, so they can still target this one. This card that was fusion summoned using Amazonas Empress, Amazonas Queen as material, can make a second attack during each battle phase. 10 Dust! Oh yeah. Wait, this card literally does nothing as well. How are there so many... Bruh, this Amazonas is useless, this one's useless, the 2 they've already got in the game, the other 2 fusions, also garbage. Could they not print 1 decent fusion so this deck doesn't completely suck? How are they out here releasing absolutely useless Pendulum monsters you probably won't even play in your Amazonas deck, and then also print completely useless fusions? Well, they could have given us anything, like anything, man. Stop shaming the big woman, bruh. I ain't shaming those guns, alright. They work hard for these absolute giga muscles, and goddamn, do they look good. I'd let Amazonas Augustus step on me as much as he wants. She can bench me if she likes. I'm down. Yeah, no removal, no negates, no locks, no nothing. It's like, normally when they have bad art types in this game, they just give them a floodgate. They didn't even do that for Amazonas. They didn't care enough. They've got nothing going for them. What kind of fusions they need? A mill 5? I reckon they need some sort of mill 5 send design to the graveyard. No, you actually... No joke, you will not be seeing an Amazonas video from me. I'm not going to torture myself with that. I'd be surprised, like... There are very few decks in Master Duel where I'd say, like... You couldn't get, like, Diamond with it. Because, like, most decks, if you just put in enough effort or enough time, you'd probably get there, even with just enough hand traps. But, like, Amazonas... I wonder if anyone's actually done it yet. Let's have a look. I doubt it, but maybe. Right, there's not even a listing for this. Has anyone done... What would it be under? Amazonas isn't even a listing on the website, yeah. It's one of the few decks in the game where I actually seriously say, even if you're a fan of the art type, don't invest into it. Just don't. Like, actually don't. There are so many decks you can get to Diamond with. This one, it just... Bro, it would be so painful. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm actually so disappointed in these cards. I can't imagine the person that, like, made this art type and then just sort of, like, let it go through. Especially these pendulum cards. I don't understand them at all. This art type doesn't want a pendulum summon, and the scale effects are awful. So there's, like, no reason to have these cards. I don't know why. And they made them both the same. Like, what? I don't... It blows my mind how bad the support is for Amazonas. It's like some of the worst support I've seen for an art type in forever. It's so bad. Anyway, stop bagging on the art type. Let's move on to something that's probably going to blow my mind as well. This one blew my mind. Let's see how much this one's going to do it. It's actually, these cards are like the actual GOAT format cards. No meme. No, actually no troll. Alright, Tearlaments Kaleido Heart. Alright. So, Tearlaments Rhino Heart plus 2 Aqua Monsters. So it needs specifically Rhino Heart? Alright, so it needs specifically you. Okay. Plus 2 Aqua Monsters. We're getting pretty strict now, right? These ones use any material from grave though, right? Yeah, it does. Okay. If this card is special summoned, or if an Aqua Monster is sent to the graveyard by card effect, while this card is on the field, you target one card your opponent controls, shuffle it into the deck, so it's a bit of a board breaker. If this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you special summon this card. If you do, send one Tearlament card from your deck to the graveyard. Oh, so you send this as part of a fusion summon and it brings itself back. And then mills a tier. So this is something you would use as part of like an extending sort of combo-y stuff, right? So you have the resources for it, you summon it. If you don't have the resources for it, you don't, sort of thing, right? So it seems like to me. Turtle is Aqua, shut up. Oh, cannot be fused? Oh, the first line, duh. Huh. Kaleido doesn't seem that great then, right? How many Kaleidos do people run? It seems like a one-off, right? It doesn't seem that great. It's like you like board breaker occasionally with it. Now, I haven't read the other fusion yet. Maybe this one's crazy, but not, like maybe you need to summon this. Why not? The card's really good. I mean, it's just like a board breaky sort of thing. It's not something you'd summon on turn 1, right? Surely not. Resurrects and sends a tier? But it's only resurrecting if you're sending it via particular effect, right? I guess. This card seems like the kind of card you'd have to pair up with someone that's a big brain. So as part of their combo, they just put this on the field, send it to the graveyard, and mill, send another card, special it back. Seems too a big brain for me. I feel like I'm just going to play this at 1 and summon it like once every like 17 duels. And still win a bunch of games because this archetype is cracked. If you mill Rhino, you summon it. Rhino plus 2 Aquas. I mean, how many Aquas does the art type even run? Outside of the turtle, are we just summoning Rhino? We only have Reinhardt, right? Well, the Aquas are in this deck. I know some people are playing the Swamp card, which is an Aqua, I think. 6? What's the other Aqua? Nessie? It's not an Aqua. Yeah, I know. Some people playing Swamp, right? And not everyone's playing this. This card actually doesn't seem that easy to summon at all. Nessie is Aqua? Oh, I'm looking at water, I'm dumb. Yeah, he is Aqua, yeah. How many even playing Nessie, though? I mean, I'm not sure how like out of date these lists are, or in date. I'm playing the other random stuff. I mean, these are just considered hand traps, right? So it can be anything as a replacement. The Cyber Side list is so cringe. Stop summoning this off your Sprite Elf. Stop it. That's enough. The deck is already broken enough. We don't need Notorio Exteriors. That is not fair. Like a list like this, why do you even bother playing one copy? It requires 2 aquas. Are these guys aqua? Wait, no, how many? Wait, I'm so dumb. How many of these are aqua? Wait, are they all aqua? I'm actually just brain damaged. I'm actually just brain damaged. They're all aqua. I'm dumb. I keep looking at water. I'm actually dumb as fuck. Wait, who's the... So only this one's the warrior. The actual only... Why is it the only one that is water, not an aqua? That is so silly. Why is the only one that is a water monster not aqua? Who designed that? That is so stupid. Oh my god. The law says so. Yeah, screw the law. That's just annoying. Because he's not a woman. Oh. A law omega law. That's so silly. God, that's silly. Yeah, okay. So 2 aquas, so we get a pop. Alright, not bad. See, all these guys are only playing one of the fusions. I guess we should rely on the generic shit, because the generic shit's always generally better. Well, we haven't gone to the last one yet, so maybe the last one's insane. They seem to be all one-offs, except this dude's running 2 of the broken one. I don't blame him. Alright, let's see what the final one does. So, Tearlaments kitkallos. Which means I recycle. Oh yeah, they all just shuffle back into the deck, don't they? Oh my god. This archetype's so dumb. Who designed this custom archetype? Come on. It's actually like a custom card, the archetype. Alright, Tearlaments kitkallos. Other aqua monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. When your opponent activates a card or effect that includes an effect that special summons a monster, create effect you can negate, of course, have a negate as well, if you do destroy it. Then send one Tearlament card from your hand or face on the field to the graveyard. If this fusion summon card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card. Wait, so this thing set itself as a negate, then revive itself? This thing literally revive itself? Yes. Of course it can. Because why not? Why they could include the word other in here, so it can't do that, but of course, this archetype kind of something that isn't incredibly broken or stupid. It can literally revive itself. That's so dumb. Do we need to have more? Oh my god. Can't be asked. What is this archetype? The entire archetype is so dumb. It's all broken. Everything's broken. Bro, they had a field day designing. They literally designed this to make money. This archetype is just the money print of the archetype. They were staring at dollar signs when they made these cards. They're so busted. Like, bro, having a fucking mill 8 wasn't enough. They've got to have all this shit as well. Oh my god. Their messed up was not making them level 2. Oh yeah, Tier Sprite. Okay. Yeah, let's go. Hey, they have 1 level 2, okay. Maybe we can play Sprite with them. I'll find a way. Smile. It's pretty hard to play too. I mean, it's probably hard to play optimally, but I feel like the bar for this deck is probably pretty low in terms of just fill up your board with crap. You can probably pretty easily fill out the board with crap with this. So, like, with the Chaos Seizure decks, I'd say their skill was pretty high, because getting the mill effects was the hardest part. Because you have to, like, you really have to rely on your, trying to get Chaos Ruler out, and if you can't get Chaos Ruler, it becomes so difficult. You have to do a bunch of other, like, random mill stuff. Even trying to get into Chaos Ruler is difficult. But with this deck, it's like, it just seems like everything mills. And if you can mill with this deck, you're probably going to end on, like, at the very worst, an end board for this being, like, I don't know, a Winder and a Negate on this is already pretty hard to deal with, right? Like, let's just say you ended on just Rickolos, and you ended on 1 Winder. So Winder in this card. Like, most decks are going to struggle to deal with that. 1 Negate and 1 you can't special summon a lot is pretty difficult to deal with. See if like you're just absolutely brain damaged and you can't summon your full board like you should, and you don't end on Abyss Dweller and whatever else you're meant to end on, you're probably still going to be fine. The fusion counters Nibiru? Does it? Yes? It does? I assume. The main benefit is it doesn't die. Divine of the Herald Nil Reinhardt equal Baron. Oh god, it is too. How many Herald is everyone running? Anyone playing Herald still in these lists? Wait, no one's playing. Oh, there's one Herald here. Because it's a great Sprite Elf target, right? Triple Herald? I mean, it seems like a fairly decent normal summon, does it not? I guess people are scared of getting impermed or ashed and not really having a follow-up. I feel like you play at least one. It's such a good summon off Sprite Elf. It's second best after Meryl. Yeah, I guess you can use this as a normal summon as well. I mean, can this deck, there was one of these that had a special summon, right? You, right? No. You? Yeah, this one had the mill on it. Do you really not play 3 Herald? That sounds so odd. Because, like, I guess to be fair, if you don't open Called By and you don't open, this dude, if this thing gets, like, ashed or impermed or negated, you probably have, like, no real play afterwards. That's probably the same for, like, most of the deck, right? If you don't open the extender, you just don't play. You don't get why people don't play it? That's what I'm wondering too. Like, I guess like the deck is like already stacked anyway, but it's like, is there a reason not to play 3 Herald? Now, what's the actual reason for it? It seems like such a good mill. No? So you can send Reinhardt for obviously making Baron, and it gets a mill out of it because it sends an Ishizu. Sorry, it sends another Tearlament. Yeah, this one can summon itself. I don't know. I'm really curious. And I noticed like all these lists aren't playing. Like they're only playing max 1 for the Sprite Elf target. I guess the deck just has enough normal summons as is. We just don't really need it. I guess. Tears have better normal summon already. They have a couple of normal summons, but like they're not really like necessarily better or worse. Sorry, my headset just died, so I got the fucking earphones just died, so I got a headset on. Hope they didn't freeze the stream. Occasionally it does. Everything is a better normal summon. Is it though? Let's have a look back on the here again. This isn't, or this, how is this like a better normal summon than this? Like than Herald? Because Herald can send like all these things. They can summon Reinhardt instantly. Herald sends Reinhardt, guarantees an Ishizu like a mill you might actually want. So Foolish Herald with Sprite, Sprine? We don't have Sprine yet, right? Isn't Sprine the card we don't own yet? This thing? Herald only sends fairies? Oh, this dude isn't a fairy. Oh, he's not a fairy. It's only sending a sheep. Oh, okay. Okay, so that one guy in chat that sending this was wrong. Oops. So it's only sending the Ishizus. Still not bad though, it's a mill 5. A mill 5 is probably guaranteed to hit any of the tiers. Herald sent any of these is probably hitting a tier. Oh, sorry, hitting these ones. I don't know. We'll see when it all comes out. I 100% recommend playing at least one though, just for the fact you can summon it off a Sprite Elf. Seems too crazy not to play at one, but we'll see. It's just gambling if you play the mirror. I guess that is a fair point. Sending a Sheez is just milling for your opponent. Yeah, I guess that is pretty fair. But, like, you're probably going to mill these anyway, right? Like, you're generally milling 8 with this deck. You're probably going to mill one of these at some point. It's like, I don't know. We'll see. Alright, let's check out the final card. Vera, the Vernusylph Goddess. Once per turn, when a monster effect activated by your opponent resolves, if you control 5 or more Earth monsters, you can negate the effect, and if you do, destroy that card. You can use this effect once per turn. You can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, take control of it. Okay? If you do, it becomes Earth. During your opponent's turn quick effect, you can target one Earth monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Aha. How are we summoning this? Was there a summon off one of you? There were, right? You just discard, you just summon them back. I mean, okay. Sure. It's like a pretty shit negate, to be fair. It's a lot of effort for one negate, but sure, I guess. And you play one at least, because you can search it, and you can put it in the graveyard and just summon it, but it's sort of like... It's a pretty... I mean, it's a lot of work for one negate. But I guess if you're playing this package for its search stuff anyway, you might as well at least play one of this, just because you can probably summon it. Like, I don't know how many monsters does the Madolche end board end on? Do they reach the 5? They do summon a bunch of shit. But did they reach 5 though? It does. I guess you don't have to have 4 and this, because the thing is an Earth. So they get 4? So, I know Adamantipator doesn't even generally end on only Earths, because it ends on a bunch of random crap, right? Because it just summons a bunch of generics, so it doesn't seem very good in Adamantipator. And it can't respond. In Pure, it's the Link, Teacher, Promenade Pass. That's only 3. We end on water and we're winning for Emancipator? Yeah. I don't know, this card doesn't seem that great. It seems like the 5 is such like a weird requirement. Like you have to have, even, like I said, Madolche doesn't seem like it's going to end on 5 that regularly. And even if it can end on 5, do you want to search this card over searching something else? Let's have a look. Yeah, even the Madolche is not even playing it, just the Turia ones were, which is different, which we don't have those cards in the game yet. I think if you're playing this package, you're just playing it for the search stuff. You don't even want this. Why are you guys so excited about it being able to negate access code and negate resolution? Who cares? The gate's not going to resolve, boys. We need 5 cards on the field. We're just not getting 5. We're just not ending on 5 Earths in like most of the lists you're playing this in. Adamantipator ends on like, your zones are filled with like generic synchros. Right? Isn't that how Adamantipator generally works? And Madolche, even if it ends on a bunch of Earths, it's probably going to end on like the 2 Xyzes, apparently a Link, and then this thing, which still isn't enough. You need 1 other Earth for it. It's so much work for a negate. You're probably only playing one because it's searchable. Play it because it's cool. Okay, fair enough. You win. You win the debate. I agree. Play it because it's cool. That is a fair point. If your opponent's able to get to access code, you're probably in a shit situation anyway. It probably stops them getting there. I'm going to be honest. Anyway, yeah, so I think this card's probably pretty meh. I think we're probably just more excited to play this for its search stuff in other archetypes, but we don't really care for this. Maybe one of if you're keen to play it just because it looks cool. Alright, so there is all the cards. And it's going to be out on April 10th, which is 3 days from now, or 4 days from now, depending on whatever. It's up here. 3 days and 12 hours. Okay, there's your timer. Alright, so thoughts on this pack. My god, stay the fucking hell away from Amazonas. Do not touch this. If I see a single person in my Discord build this deck, I'm banning them on the spot. Melffy's going to be crazy. Probably just going to be the Penny into Herald, which will be absolutely crazy versus specifically Ishizu. So, honestly, I'm wondering if this will even reach tier 0 levels of format, because I feel like Sprite is still going to be pretty decent, right? Like, Sprite's, like, really isn't, like, isn't that bad in Master Duel, because, like, there's no limits or anything. Because, like, in TCG, the only reason, or, like, in OCG, wherever it was, the only reason it sort of reached tier 0 is because they hit, like, Sprite a whole bunch before it was released, right? Get bad, chat. Like, I wonder if it's going to be, like, it's obviously going to be the best deck in the game, but I'm wondering if Sprite's going to be able to compete somewhat. I wouldn't be surprised if Sprite does compete a little bit. Honestly, I'm hoping it does, because I feel like tier 0 formats are generally pretty lame. I prefer it to be at least, like, 2-deck format, and, like, I prefer more decks, obviously, a bit of versatility, but I feel like Sprite's probably going to be okay. Elf will never resolve with the shufflers, true. I'll say. But yeah, the tier's by far gonna be the best deck. It's ridiculous. Like, if you guys have played against the Ishizu Chaos deck, if any of you have played against it, you should sort of get a rough idea of how the Tearlament's gonna feel. But 10 times worse, and doing it during your turn. Like, if any of you have actually played against any of these sort of decks, it's basically going to feel like this, just 10 times worse. And these decks are already really damn good, with being, like, really unreliable and trying to resolve your Chaos Ruler. Because if you don't resolve Chaos Ruler in this deck list, all the time it just loses. So this deck kind of loses to a singular Ash Blossom, but this entire archetype basically mills. Oh shit, I opened the wrong tab. Yeah, but this entire archetype basically mills, so... Ash Blossom, one of these is good to resolve, and then you're in a lot of trouble. You're gonna main Shifter? I'm not surprised. Shifter Stonk's going through the roof right now. Shifter and Crows? Hell yeah. Shifter and DD Crow Stonks? Giga through the roof. And Crows SR, right? Craft your crows now, boys. Get some crows out. What's the ghost scale that's a negate for Graveyard? Ghost Bell? Ghost Bell? Is that even that good? I don't know if Ghost Bell's even that good. I feel like I just prefer Crow. I think I prefer to just crow people so they can't do their fusion summon. Crowing seems better. I think I'm crowing. We'll see. If the latter turns out to be pure like tier 0 format where everyone's playing it, you're gonna probably play 3 crow. I think my first list for tier won't include 3 crow just because of hopefully in the first like 2 hours of the deck being released, not everyone will have it yet. So I might play against something that isn't just this deck, but yeah, it's pretty good. Skullmeister's not bad. Actually, what rarity is Skullmeister? Probably SR, right? There's another good one. Activating Graveyard, you're gonna get it. Not bad. Alright, well, there you go, boys. There's your stuff. What are your thoughts, chat? What do you reckon? You excited? You not excited? What do you reckon, boys? I've heard from a lot of people that like people loved this format despite it being tier 0 in TCG and OCG, so we'll see how much fun it actually is. Doom? We're all doomed. Despair. We'll see. I think on release all this stuff will be pretty fun, but I think after like 2 weeks it might get pretty stale, especially if everyone's playing only the same shit. Because currently Sprite, I think the thing I like so much about Sprite, which by the way you're gonna see another Sprite video from me either tomorrow or a couple of days afterwards, depends on if I'm getting this sponsor thing for it or not. But the thing I like about Sprite is that it can be combined with like so many different art types. So there's like, even when you're seeing a lot of the same stuff, at least there's some like versatility there. Some people are playing like the Toad stuff, some people are playing Melffy, some people are playing Pure, some are playing Runic, but no one wants to see the Runic variant. Some people are playing the deck list I'm going to be uploading very soon, which is very memey. But there's so many different variants of Sprite just going to be played with any level 2 archetype that you just see a lot of variants. I think tier might not be so much. I guess there's quite a few different graveyard decks that like it. So I guess there could be a Chaos variant, there could be a Shadow variant, there could be pure sort of tier Ishizu. So I guess, I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping it's not as tier 0-y as it is going to end up being, but I'm just copiing. Anyway, boys, it's been fun. If you enjoyed the stream, remember to hit that subscribe button so that you can see me when I do streams and make deck lists from all these cards. It'll be much appreciated. I just realized I was wearing my headset despite having no audio on the stream anyway, so what was the point? But yeah, it's been fun. I hope you guys all enjoyed the stream and enjoyed reviewing stuff. Make sure to subscribe. There'll be an interesting Sprite deck coming out in a day or two. Maybe tomorrow, we'll see. If anyone's interested in seeing some stupid memey Sprite deck. Alright boys, it's been fun. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll catch you on a later stream.